Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to
Ranger Danger.
Go, go, Ranger Danger! Ooh. Go, go, Ranger Danger! Ooh. Go, go, Ranger Danger! Matt and Michael's Ranger Danger!
Welcome once again to the Ranger Danger podcast. This is the podcast where, when the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just have to remember what your old pal said. You've got a friend in us, Michael.
That's not this podcast either. That's Toy Story.
Oh, I do love Toy Story.
Who doesn't love Toy Story? You know, if we'd done a Pixar movie podcast,
Yeah.
we'd have been done about 2 years ago.
Yeah, and watched a lot better material.
Yeah.
So what is this podcast?
This is the one where we watch Power Rangers.
Right, and then afterwards we discuss it.
Yeah.
Yep, got it. I'm Matt.
Michael, hey guys.
Yep, and very special occasion because for the first time in quite a long time, my partner Sarah's joined us.
Hello, everybody. I'm back.
Welcome back to the show, Sarah.
Thank you. I've missed everyone very much.
Yeah, I mean, like, you see me every day.
Well, when I say everyone, I mean our lovely listeners.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Michael.
See,
Yay.
they do have a friend in us. I wasn't all wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today, we're going to be watching episode 113 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers overall, and it's entitled A Friend in Need.
Part 1. First episode of season 3.
Yeah, what? It's going to be a weird one because, from my understanding, the sort of arc of season 3
Starts after
this three-parter. This is like a interlude with some very interesting components to it.
Yeah.
But
Do we want to reveal, like, we know what one of those components is?
Sarah doesn't.
I don't.
Let's let her find out on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Matt, I guess it's still the start of season 3.
Yep.
What are you've said that season 3 is kind of one that you're more familiar with.
Yes.
What is there anything you're like really amped up for?
Yeah. Ninja!
Oh, dear.
We won't get him this week, though.
Okay, no, I assume he comes in Ninja Quest.
Yes.
Which is
Ninja Quest, not Ninja Quest. The Ninja is in the Ninja Quest.
I don't know what Ninja is.
Okay, good.
I
will
know what he looks like, but I don't. Matt's been excited about Ninja for about a year and a half now, so I'm quite excited to meet Ninja, but that won't happen this week.
No. You'll meet someone else this week.
New Megazord at some point, maybe not this week.
Yeah, again, I think that'll be in that next three-parter after this one.
And I mean, I assume that that's similar to the movie Megazord, but like not identical. But you know, hopefully it gets to do some fighting.
That is my hope as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I just would like better Megazord stuff, I think. Or if not, just less Megazord stuff.
Sure.
If it's not going to be better, just give us less of it.
I think you'll be pretty well served this season.
Okay, that's exciting.
It's good to, like, know stuff that you don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice as well. Like, last time I was here, you were both pretty down and out about Power Rangers. I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lift in the mood.
Yeah.
There's new stuff coming. So, Sarah, actually, when was the last time you were here? Do you remember?
Ooh, a while ago. Yeah, many months.
Okay, because I'm wondering if we should fill you in on anything that's happened in between.
Can you remember who, like, the big villain was?
Ooh, it
Well,
looks...
the thing is, sometimes I actually watch the episodes with you
That's
without
true.
being on the show. So,
So, Matt, it looks like the last time Sarah was on the podcast was the Ninja Encounter Part 1.
Oh, wow.
So, that was a very long time ago. Was that with the new Power Rangers they met?
yes.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
So
Okay,
they're
so-
much more established now.
Yeah, so the three of the Power Rangers left. They went to a peace conference
Okay.
in Switzerland, and they were replaced with these three new guys,
Yep.
who are now the new guys. Rita came back, Rita Repulsa, the witch.
Right, yes.
And she and Lord Zed got married.
Right.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah, it was a Jewish wedding for reasons.
And a love potion was involved.
Yeah.
You'd need a strong one.
And then, so they've teamed up to take over the world and are equally as bad together as they ever were individually.
Okay. Is it romantic? Or they just do it
Kind of.
together? Like,
Like-
that's kind of weird.
For the longest time, they were really at each other's throats and just squabbling all the time.
Yeah.
But just recently, they're like, yeah, they're kind of into each other. And that's almost worse.
Yeah.
What else has happened? The Power
Gross.
Rangers went back in time like 5 times.
Yeah.
Each one more disappointing than the last.
Although, quite recently, they did go... Kimberly got transported back in time to Angel Grove in Western times and
Right.
met the descendants of the other Power Rangers who just had stupid variations on their name, like Rocky was Rocco, for example.
Oh, God.
And ended up going back to meet Zordon, who was just still existing at that time, and the command center just had some wooden sheds like stacked onto the side of it. Got the power coins, took it back to Ye Olde Angel Grove, gave them to like Rocco and the other descendants, and they all morphed and became like the Western Power Rangers, which were just the Power Rangers with like tassels all over their costumes and cowboy boots.
Oh my
That
God,
was
that's
pretty good.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
This season was insane.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited about season 3.
Yeah.
All right,
let's get into
Let's
it.
get into it. A Friend in Need Part 1.
Yeah, let's go find out who the friend in need is.
Yeah, he is a friend indeed. That's what I've heard.
That's my
Oh.
understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why we need Sarah on the podcast, to call us out on our stupid shit.
I'm worried that if that happens, we'll stop being funny.
Yeah, no, I'll just enjoy it. I'll just sit back and watch it all happen.
Yay.
Right, let's check it out.
All right, we'll be back soon. You can watch Friend in Need Part 1 on Netflix, possibly, or on DVD, or however you want to do it. Or you can just listen to the podcast by joining us in just a few
Oh, it's
seconds.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
A scary thing, my mum asked me the other day how she can watch Power Rangers. So
Yeah.
I can
Okay.
tell her that it's on Netflix.
Can we get your mum on the podcast?
Yeah, she's actually started listening to it.
Yeah,
Okay, we're going to have to talk about that.
we could probably do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Cool.
Other exciting things. All right, bye guys.
And we're back.
Well, that was different.
Yeah, Season 3 has begun with a bang.
That was quite fun.
Yeah, you had fun?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Shall I take it from the top?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, that was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, the opening titles seem almost identical.
They are identical, I think.
There's one difference, I think, that I spotted.
Mm-hmm.
That the Power Rangers logo now has the Saban logo
Ah,
quite
right.
prominently up next to it.
What,
Yep.
What's the Saban logo?
There's a little golden circle that says Saban in it, and Saban is the company that owns the rights to Power Rangers.
And is it the red sort of swirl thing
That's
that
sort
was
of
at the end as well?
I think
Ah,
that's
yeah.
a newer Saban logo that's put on the end of like the Netflix versions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so Saban is the company that sort of owned Power Rangers for the first 10 years of its
Oh, longer
existence.
than that, 15 maybe nearly.
Oh, I don't know about that. No, I don't. Not that much.
Okay.
And then Disney bought it for about 10 years,
Okay.
and recently, in the past 3 or 4 years, Saban's gotten back again.
Okay.
So,
Never even heard of Saban.
yeah, they're not like a very sort of
Power Rangers is their big thing.
yeah. But it, like in the 90s, especially, they had quite a few. Like they were the ones who produced the X-Men cartoons,
Oh, okay.
Beetleborgs. Oh, yeah.
Lots of shows that are very much like Power Rangers.
Okay.
In that they're like, we take a Japanese show and we put some white kids in it. And we... Yeah. Alright, so we open on a planet in space.
Yes.
There's guys with gas masks.
Yep.
And they're digging up gases.
Yes.
Which... That doesn't sound right.
I mean, I could see how you could open holes that would allow gases to escape.
Yes.
But digging up gases...
They don't appear to have like any kind of container or like...
No, I think they're just releasing it into the atmosphere.
Right. This planet is completely tinted red.
Yeah.
This is a red planet.
Probably because of those poison gases. I mean, the colour of our atmosphere comes from the gases in it.
Yeah, but why would a planet have poison gases in the atmosphere?
Because it's
That
an
has
alien
people on
planet.
it.
Well, they've got gas masks.
I had a feeling the gas wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah. My reading of the situation was, it'll get into this a little bit more, that basically Count Dragon was making the population of Edenoi destroy their own planet by enslaving them and making them release the toxic gases in the
Oh, man.
subterranean layers of the planet.
If you just waited a couple of 100 years, they'd do it themselves.
Yeah. Once they get to the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, there's a guy called Dex.
Yes.
Who we don't ever see his face.
No.
But he is presumably like our main character there.
Yep.
And there's also like a dude who's conspicuously dressed in white.
Yes, with a big wizard beard.
Yeah.
He's King Lexicon or something?
Lexion.
There we go.
Yeah. And there's also like a dude with horns who is clearly evil.
Yes.
It just gets right into it.
It's a pretty cool way to start the season. Like, it really throws you in the deep end of a big story.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Was any of it related to things that had happened previously?
No.
Okay.
Not in the slightest.
No. This is the first time we see King Dragon or any other
Oh,
guys in this
okay.
Yeah, none of that. You know how much introduction you got to that?
Yeah.
We're dealing with the same amount of information.
Right.
So Alpha 5 is sad, Matt.
Yeah, like he's sitting down,
Yeah.
which he never does.
And he won't tell Zordon what the problem is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he holds it back, doesn't he?
And Zordon's like, look, I can't fucking help you if you're not going to tell me what the problem is. Which, I mean, you could just, like, buy him a lollipop.
So Zordon has a new voice.
His voice definitely sounds
It
different.
does sound different. Like, better in the acting department, I guess.
I don't know if it's just, like, less of a post-production effect,
Yeah.
maybe.
It's certainly more human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So Alpha's bummed because there was a distress signal from Edenoi.
Yes.
Alpha was built on Edenoi by their king, Lexion.
Yep.
Who is like a father to him. Mm-hmm. And I've got questions about that. But the scan that Alpha did of the planet did not bring the king up at all. So presumably he's got some sort of ability that can scan each individual person of a planet that's light years away.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
And he feels it deep in his circuits. That there is something wrong.
Poor Alpha.
Deep in his circuits.
So we know Alpha's been around
Yes.
for at least 200 years.
But what? More than 200 years?
Well, we don't necessarily know that Alpha existed. The earliest we've seen Alpha is in the Wild West.
Yeah, but he talks about Rita when Rita first appears as if he's had experience with Rita.
Certainly, but like there's no
Yeah.
actual... We know that he's between thousands and hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
So is the people on that planet later talk about Alpha like Alpha's someone they know.
Yes.
Are they all hundreds of years old?
Yeah, I guess.
Or he could just be legend.
That's true.
You know, like, if
guess.
he is hundreds of years old, maybe they all know of him through generational stories.
Yeah, he's like the prodigal robot.
Which is very strange.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't even be the strangest thing to happen this week.
Yeah.
Okay,
That makes
I'm
sense.
all right with that. So there's
King Lexion, though, at least has to be a few hundred years old. 'Cause they say that he built Alpha.
yes,
And, like, he had to be alive to do that. So.
yes.
But he also has a big
I-
white beard, so...
Again, like, is it the same king?
Bum, bum, bum.
Like,
I mean,
maybe
on the
everyone on
show,
that planet
yes,
is called
probably.
Lex. Everyone is called Lex. It's part of the planet thing.
Maybe.
It seems unlikely, but I don't have enough information to disprove it yet.
I think that I'm just filling the gaps for this show with
Sometimes
my
you have to.
imagination. Yeah.
So there's like an evil turtle bug spaceship.
See him more as like a cockroach.
Yeah, there's something insectile about it.
Yeah.
It's got like a longer neck and like a protruding head, though. That's
Yeah.
like
But
not
it has the
really
little...
Oh, I can see the turtle.
carapace-y.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely an evil spaceship.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's creepy.
If you liberated that spaceship, you would just have to destroy it and start again.
Yes.
So this is Evil Count Dragon's spaceship.
Yep.
Is that the laziest name this show has ever done? His name is just Count Dragon.
Well, no, it's Dragon, Michael. And I think you've got to remember that... What was the name of the movie star monster?
Oh, I don't even remember.
He was like movie star monster?
Yeah, okay, there have been a couple of those, that's true.
So definitely not the laziest.
So Count Dragon is preceded by like an adorable little floating robot?
Yes.
What? This show is weird.
I like this sense of, well, world building that goes on in this episode.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff that's just going on that we don't really know what the context of it is, and it just makes it feel like a bigger world.
Yeah, I mean, on this spaceship, there's the evil Count Dragon.
Dragon.
That's what I said. His, like, floating monster.
Yep.
And then 3, 4, 5, like, other dudes.
I counted like 2, but...
No, there's definitely a bunch. Because, like, one of them shows up at the end and he's going to go leave.
Right.
And that's a different dude to all the other dudes.
Yeah.
There's Double Face.
Yes.
Who has, like, a mask with a face on the front and then presumably another face underneath the mask.
I found that one particularly disturbing.
Yeah, he's a weird one.
That
There's,
was weird.
like, a short one who speaks in rhyme.
Yeah, I love that.
And he has really strange skin, and they call him a, what do they call him?
Yeah,
Some kind of pile of DNA junk or something.
Yeah.
Some kind of accident
It sounds
creature.
like he's some sort of, like, mutant.
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And then there's Cyclopta, who we hear about at the end and see very briefly.
Yep.
And then I feel like there's another dude who just is there.
I feel like it would be a very stressful place to work.
I imagine
That's-
working for any evil overlord is probably a stressful place to work.
Yeah, I had that feeling for them.
I think, too, I love rhyming monsters, but the idea of, like, a rhyming evil henchman that just sort of hangs out and speaks in rhyme all the time.
Yeah.
I love that.
Power Rangers could have one of those,
Yeah.
and that would be good.
If we can just take him and keep him, that'd be great.
Wouldn't it be good if they swapped?
Yeah.
If they figured out some way to do that. Anyway, so they say, we're going to destroy the planet.
Yep.
Off that, Kim has the flu.
Yeah.
It's a minor league problem.
Yeah.
So she's in bed, recovering.
I thought her acting was a little better than what I've seen her act
She's
previously.
definitely the best actor on the show.
Yeah, like she was sick in bed. She had, a thermometer and she looked pasty. I kind of bought it, which, I mean, I suppose as I was watching it, I'm like, I could buy this, which does say that I'm not, but I think her acting has improved.
I just love her California accent. Like, she says flu like it's spelled like FLEUGHHHHH.
Isn't it?
I don't think so.
Is that two vowels? It's got to do the walk.
It's when 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking.
That's what I said. You got to walk the walking vowels talk. I don't think that's a rule.
It's definitely a
I
rule.
think you've made that up.
Okay, listeners, can you email us in and let us know if you've heard the grammatical rule in school when 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking? Referring to, if you have vowel, consonant, vowel, you put the emphasis on the first vowel. It's a thing.
Okay, that's been Mighty Morphin Linguistics Danger. I feel like I've said that one before.
Yeah, you have, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So Adam and Rocky are doing some fighting.
Yep.
Aisha goes over, has a chat with Adam. Billy arrives. So he installed a new chip in the communicators. And he contacted Alpha to test it. And Alpha sounded sad.
Yeah. But Billy's like, at least I think he sounded sad, but that's weird because he's a robot. Which is, like, first of all, a shitty thing to say. But, second of all, kind of nonsensical because he spends half his time in a state of woe and despair.
Yeah.
Like,
that is true. He is always I-I-I-ing.
exactly. Like, his catchphrase is I, which is a thing that comes out when he's worried.
He certainly has some anxiety problems.
Yes.
I mean,
Can I also interrupt and say that Billy, without his glasses, can I preface this by saying, you rock my socks, Matt? But he is really good looking.
Yeah. Yeah, in the past sort of 2 months or so of the
Yeah,
show,
something like that.
he's lost his glasses and just decided to be a buff guy.
He started
He's-
like wearing shirts that show off that he actually has muscles.
He's like a hunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love you.
It's alright, he's super gay, so...
Well, that's all right. I can
No,
still
it's-
appreciate
No,
his
it's fine, but
appearance.
He's not going to take you away from Matt, is what I get.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
also like 40. Which, I don't know, might do it for you, but he's super gay.
Drat. No, that's okay. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird position to take. That's like, how could he sound sad, given that he's been evil, happy, he's danced. He's basically just a dude with a funny hat.
Yes.
It's weird to think that sadness would be the one thing that was totally off limits.
Yeah. And then later they'll say, oh, he's our friend, so he's more than just a robot to us.
Yeah.
Again, a really shitty thing to say about robots. Like,
He's more than just a robot to us. but he is still a robot to everyone else. We need to make that really clear.
It's like if I said, Michael's like in trouble, and I know he's a human, but to me, he's more than just a human.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really like speciesist thing to say.
Adam wonders if maybe Alpha is lonely, and then wonders if it's possible for robots to get lonely.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would program a robot to be able to get lonely.
Well,
It's pretty cruel.
Yeah.
but I feel like he's just been programmed to be a like sentient creature.
Yeah.
And loneliness is something that can come as a consequence of that.
Sure.
I think you'd choose like, there's not like a box that's like, can he be lonely? Yes. Tick.
Matt, I work with programmers. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Right.
They'd have to spend at least 6 weeks extra to make loneliness happen. Actually, many programmers don't have to work that hard to make loneliness happen.
Oh.
Yeah! Programmer burn. If you're a programmer, write in. Let us know. You and none of your friends. Ooh! Suck it, nerds.
Michael.
I make websites for a living. They know that I'm one of them. Alright, so that spaceship is shooting lasers at the planet now.
Yes.
Basically, they're trying to destroy the planet
Yeah.
by shooting lasers just at it.
At this point, they're already better villains than Lord Zed and Rita, right?
Yep.
Like, they're successfully subjugating a planet. They're just generally scarier than those guys.
Yep.
And they seem like they're serious and have their shit together.
Yeah, Count Drogon, Dragon, Drugan, whatever. He's got like a full face mask that just doesn't cover his mouth.
Yeah.
It's a good...
Yeah.
Like, it works.
Yeah.
His mouth is also spray painted gold.
Yep.
Great.
Because we have to witness him.
I think this is before that.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Lord Zed is gazing away into space, and he's clearly not looking at Earth. His beam, which I guess is like an actual beam of light.
Yeah, so like if we looked up into the night sky while Lord Zed was doing that, could we see just like a giant laser shooting across the skies?
I hope so.
It's a pretty powerful gaze.
Yeah.
He's watching Count Dragon.
Dragon, it's not that hard.
The
Emphasis on the A.
The problem is I've written it as Dragon in my notes every time.
Just make it, it's Draegon.
I actually think it's just Dregon.
Yeah, I know, but like for the purposes of you being able to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, Count Dragon, that's fine. So he's watching the Spider Base, which is apparently what that ship is called.
Oh.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, it's Count fucking Dragon.
Nope, Dragon.
That's what I said. Count Dragon is the evilest of evil. And Lord Zed was meant to be the evilest of evil, so...
There's a lot of evilest of evil.
He's having a tough time, though.
Rita's a fan.
Yep.
Lord Zed hates him more than he hates the Power Rangers.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. Basically, Dragon's thing is that he's always like been Lord Zed's rival. And Lord Zed is feeling a bit bummed about himself at the moment because he's been trying to conquer Earth for a long time. And he's having just no luck.
I think he's having a bit of a midlife crisis. He seems to be a bit questioning his own identity and his own power.
Well, you know, if you were previously like a galactic warlord who conquers planets and just like subjugates people, and then you go to this one place and you're like, 5 kids just keep beating you. And then you look over at the guy who you like grew up with and who never used to be that good at it. He's got this whole planet. He's so good. He's making the people who live on that planet release their own toxic gases into the atmosphere.
Pretty evil.
And then your wife comes waltzing over and goes, oh, he's so cool.
He's pretty hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Then, yeah, he feels really crap about himself right now.
Yeah, I
which
don't blame
is
him.
also, like, you know, a little insight. Maybe he can be saved. Maybe because he is capable of questioning himself, he could become good.
Maybe. Yeah, I feel like super bad for him because he does have such a good point in this scene. He's like,
Yep.
I can't even conquer one planet. It's like, yeah, you can't. You're a bit shit. Sorry,
He's
buddy.
questioning himself. So that is the start of, like, massive
Self-improvement.
change. Yes.
The problem with self-improvement is, in this case, it leads to the subjugation of Earth. We don't actually want Lord Zed to improve.
I think that maybe he could improve in other ways. Like he could
Get some skin, maybe?
The thing is, like, you'd normally, you know, have him reformed by having him find love. But he found love. He's pretty happy.
He has evil love.
He has evil love.
Creepy, creepy, evil love.
Yeah.
It is off-putting, isn't it?
It's
Like-
so weird.
Off-putting, but also kind of cute. Like, when he gets all, like grumpy, he starts, like, moping, and Rita's comes over and he's like, oh, it's okay. It's like, oh, you guys are kind of cute in a very
Yeah,
weird way.
I can see that. You know, I don't want to see that. I can't unsee that.
They are there for each
They're
other,
so gross.
you know, which is kind of nice.
But Finster is working on a new monster.
Yes.
And Rita's convinced that this is the one.
Yeah, big call.
Yeah, given how many of them have been the one previously.
Yeah.
Alright, so in the command center,
Yep.
they have a chat with Alpha, and they find out, Alpha's bummed because... So this is the planet Edenoi.
Yep.
It's the planet that Alpha was built on by King Lexion, who is like a father to him, and is still around, so I'm not comfortable with that timeline, but that's fine. The people who live there are called Edenites, and it is in the northernmost corner of the galaxy.
Yeah.
No.
You follow the North Star
No.
all the way to North.
I saw your eyes bulge at this stage.
That's not how North works.
But we don't know that.
What do you... No, fuck off. What do you mean we don't know? Come on. What do you mean we don't know that?
Well, like, our directional system is based on the poles, right?
Yes.
How do you know that we didn't get that from all of the galactic beings that have been hanging around on Earth? And that the galaxy has poles that we don't yet know or understand, and they just applied that system to the globe.
No.
Yeah,
Why not?
good
I don't
point.
like that.
Why not?
Because it's dumb.
It's the furthest reach of the galaxy. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I like that even less. No. The galaxy doesn't have poles.
Why doesn't it have poles?
Because poles are a function of, like, magnetic rocks.
What if it's just timey-wimey stuff?
No.
I mean, like, the galaxy we now know has a center, and that everything revolves around that center. Is it not possible that there's forces that could be similar to, like, magnetic forces?
But then how does it... If everything's revolving around the centre,
Yeah.
how does it have poles? Like, where is the north?
Above the center.
Above the centre?
Yeah.
But is it a sphere?
Well, the galaxy's a disk.
But so is it just in one direction?
Yeah, it's above the disk.
But so if it's a disc, how is there a corner?
It doesn't need a corner, there's just above and
It's
below.
the northernmost corner.
Well, if you picture it like...
In a disc,
Yeah.
everything is at the edge is equally northern from the disc.
No, that's thinking of it laterally. But if you get, like, a cube, right?
Right.
And you get...
So is the galaxy a cube?
No, but, like, for the purposes of considering the
Yeah.
poles, you get the cube and you put it, like, on one of the corners, right? So one is at the top and one is at the bottom. And then you've got the other corners as, like, around the disc. But then you have a southernmost point of the cube and a northernmost point.
You're pointing up and down, but
Yeah.
that's putting the poles in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, the poles are in 3 dimensions on our world. They're at the top and the bottom of the planet.
But so then, does it have an east and a west?
Well, it'd need an extra 2. You'd have east
Yeah,
and west.
that's
and
what... Right, so...
That's fine.
They-
You've got to expand your thinking just a little bit. It's a galaxy compared to a planet.
This is dumb and I don't like it. This is the worst science this show has had since the episode
They
with
also
the prisms.
said that Andromeda was a constellation.
Does that one specifically upset you?
Yeah. That's the only part about this that I can't wrap my head around. I think I
But,
can...
in the far corners of the universe, there's an Andromeda constellation.
Okay, fair enough.
A constellation is just a collection of stars, right?
Yeah.
A galaxy is just a collection of stars.
No, fuck off. No.
Is that not true?
Though, here's the problem.
Yeah.
Both things you said are true.
Yeah.
But it is not then true to call a galaxy a constellation.
Why?
Because a constellation specifically requires human observers.
We can observe a galaxy.
But we don't draw shapes on it.
We can't. Well, I could.
No, you can't. You
It'd
can't
take
just-
me a long
You
time.
can't just make up constellations.
That's how we got
Yeah,
constellations.
but we did that, and you can't add new ones.
Yes, we can.
No new constellation. When was the last time you heard about a new constellation?
Like, but there's no reason we can't add them.
Yep, we can't do it.
What will happen when the skies change? Because, the stars will shift as time moves on.
Yeah,
We're going to have to have new constellations.
We'll all be dead.
That's fine, but someone else will be doing it.
Well, yeah, but they'll all be dead.
Not before
Yep,
they make
no,
the
yeah.
constellation.
One day we'll all be dead and the constellations won't exist because, like, no one will be around to remember them. But that doesn't mean that, like...
Plus,
they didn't-
how old is Zordon?
Fucking old.
Yeah, long enough to make a constellation out of Andromeda. He's just like connecting all the dots to the little
I
space
don't,
pen.
I don't like any of this space science that's happening here.
Alright, that's why I'm the space scientist and
Does
you're not.
this show often confront your views on the universe?
Yes.
Yeah, once a week or so. Basically, anytime there's a new planet, someone who writes this show makes up something else dumb about science.
And you
Or
still...
new.
It's been, what? It's been a couple years now. You still can't just go with it?
No, it's dumb. Here's the problem, right? I don't mind that, like, the moon in Power Rangers clearly has a breathable atmosphere.
Yeah.
Right? There's certain rules that it's established and that you just have to roll with.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff that they say that's dumb and unnecessary that they could have just said a right thing instead.
Or they said a creative thing instead.
No, dumb.
This is what I deal with every
What's the
week.
difference between, like, creative and dumb? Like, is it just your opinion?
No, how useful it is. Like, this Edenoid doesn't have to be in the northernmost corner of the galaxy, right? That doesn't affect anything. You could just say it's hundreds of light years away and you get the same feeling of it's a long way away.
Right.
But it's also less interesting.
Yeah, but that's because it's made up crazy nonsense.
because it's
Yeah.
a story.
Yeah,
it's
It's storytelling.
It's like in A New Hope when Obi-Wan is talking to Luke and he's just like, oh yeah, your father fought in the Clone Wars. At the time, that wasn't a thing. That was just an offhand thing to say that makes you think, oh, I wonder what that was.
Yeah, but he doesn't say, like, your father fought in the Clone Wars with a gun made out of a wine bottle, which is a thing you can't do. He
But
doesn't
like, if
just
someone said that, I'd be like, oh wow, how would that work? That sounds great.
No.
Yeah, alright. I think there's a fundamental difference between us that we're just going to have to check at the door.
It's the difference between stuff that is like, if you want to world build, you
Yep.
can world build, that's fine, but you can't break science to do it. Like that episode about prisms. Do you remember the one about prisms where no one understood how prisms worked?
That's fine. But like, the two issues we're discussing in this one are issues of nomenclature. It's not science. There's no physical laws being broken. It's just the definitions that people are using for words.
And science is just what we believe right now in this moment in time. There is so much that we don't know.
I'm not happy with how this show treats space. Also,
Oh, buddy.
apparently somewhere in space is another dimension where you can talk to a skull. So,
You know that, like, in 2 weeks, we're going to go watch Star Wars, and there's this thing called the Force, which, like, I hate to break to you, isn't real science.
no, the Force is fine. The Force is world building.
Yeah, see, I think that's just because it's older, and it was,
No.
like, you experienced it when you were a kid, when
No.
you had a sense of wonder.
You are very selective with this.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, I feel like we're, like, being really critical now. Let's just accept Michael.
Oh man, if I had a nickel. Alright, so look, basically, because it's so far away, they might not have all their powers there.
Yep.
They morph.
Yeah.
So I don't know what exactly that means.
Yeah, I guess maybe they're just weaker?
Like, we don't see them summon the Zords.
No.
But I wouldn't expect the Zords to go there anyway.
Don't know if they could get there.
Yeah,
Because
like...
they are on Earth, and I don't know that they could teleport.
Wait, no, because when they were on that mysterious planet...
Yeah, you're right. They did exactly that.
Yeah.
So never mind.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, then they're going to be missing some of their powers.
Yeah.
Zordon says, remember, you are only going to investigate.
Don't get involved in the conflict.
Yeah.
Which, like, they're going to get involved
They're
in
going to get involved. Zordon is not a fan of this mission at all.
No, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, he says, you know, like, your friendship with Alpha is, like, you know, really does you credit. I really support this, but don't go too hard on it. You know, pitch out if things get hard. It's
Yeah,
fine.
He clearly doesn't appreciate Alpha that much.
No. And, like, Alpha, especially in this scene, kind of like in Power Rangers the movie, is kind of the heart of this show,
Yeah.
or this episode.
Yeah, it's very central to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he, like, when he's sad, I feel worse for him than I feel for any other characters when they're sad.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Is it, do you think, maybe because this is not about protecting Earth? You know, and the show is generally about protecting Earth? and this is sort of not in that vein.
Do you mean that's why Zordon would
Yeah,
be...
do you think that's why Zordon wasn't that interested? Because it's not really in his...
Yeah, I don't know that not interested
Field.
is quite right. I think he's just acutely aware of the fact that if you send the Power Rangers away, the Earth is vulnerable.
Yeah.
So
Also, you're picking a fight as opposed to defending your planet.
yeah,
I mean, they are defending it. Like, there's a dude laser bombing it from his spine.
Yeah, but it's not their planet.
Sure, but
yeah, it is kind of interventionist. Like, it's kind of like Space Iraq, and they're Space America.
yeah, I guess. Except, yeah, I guess. It feels like the addition of this to the show in particular, with like, I think our first proper alien species, other than the Babadook or whatever. Remember that one?
Yes.
Whatever that one was called.
Yeah.
Like
The
this is
Bukala.
Yeah, the Great Bukala Escape. That's right. This is the first time we've seen like an alien species with multiple inhabitants and like a planet that's theirs. It suddenly kind of makes me go, the Power Rangers are really only just looking out for Earth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Like,
Well, and I think part of it is that they, like Zordon and Alpha, are not originally of Earth.
Yes.
But the Rangers are. So they've got a moral responsibility to protect their planet, and they don't have to feel too bad about it because it is their planet. Like
Yeah.
they
That's
have
their job.
they have agency over their own people. But when you become interventionist and you're like, there's another planet, there's what we perceive as good and what we perceive as bad there, and we're going to go help the ones we perceive as good, you are inserting yourself into a situation where you don't necessarily have the right to.
I mean, here's the thing. I understand that, but some of them are on the side of the creepy dude with no skin.
Yes.
Like, this is a universe where good and bad are very clearly delineated by what they look like.
How nice.
Like, yes and no, because Lord Zed does not like Count Dragon, and I think would like to kill him if he got the chance.
Yeah, but they both are, like, on the same side. If Count Dragon came to Earth,
Yeah.
he wouldn't team up with the Rangers.
I feel like Lord Zed would team up with the Rangers to destroy Count Dragon.
That's
though.
probably true.
It's like in the movie where Lord Zed and Rita were like cheering on the Rangers to destroy Ivan Ooze.
Sure.
Yeah.
I wonder if, I'm thinking about this now, like, we know that Lord Zed is some kind of galactic terror.
Yes.
And Rita has a reputation as well. We know that kind of Zordon is part of a group of people, and that like they fought a long time ago. I wonder if Zordon is using the Power Rangers. Like, you know how they never go to the moon and just take out Lord Zed?
Yes.
I wonder if the idea is just to distract Lord Zed and Rita. Like, in other parts of the galaxy,
Yep.
you can mop up Lord Zed's forces because they're being led by useless Goldars and stuff.
Yep.
But if Lord Zed came back, he'd be like, right, get back into shape. But while he's distracted with these dudes in this one planet...
Are you saying that
They're just pawns.
Zordon doesn't want the Rangers to win because he wants Lord Zed to just be kept occupied?
Yeah, because if Lord Zed was to win, someone else can take Lord Zed's place. But
Or you mean if the
Lord
Power
Zed-
Rangers were to win, someone would take Lord
Yes,
Zed's?
yeah. But if Lord Zed kind of just stays in one place, he's still in charge. No one else would rise up, like, to take Lord Zed's role. But he's distracted. You can do other good stuff elsewhere in the galaxy.
That's bleak.
Yeah, that's really bleak.
That's the mood this show put me. This is an episode about a planet which has, like, 6 people on it being forced to mine their own poison gas. This is a bleak episode.
What a downer.
The Power Rangers and the Master Rider are going to save the day.
Maybe.
I feel pretty confident about it. Oh, actually, not so much. Never mind.
Wow.
Okay.
We're all becoming sad. Well, Alpha wasn't sad. So when the Power Rangers agreed to go, Alpha gets a warm, fuzzy feeling in his circuits. And I do realise that his circuits are his, like, emotional centre.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah.
He says, my memory banks will never fail to retrieve this day's events.
Yeah.
And I understand that that's like the robot equivalent of I'll always remember this. But he's a robot. He shouldn't forget things.
Yeah. No, he said that earlier as well in the episode. He's like, yeah, that he mentioned something about not being able to forget things.
I think
Unrelated
though,
to that.
Like, you have processes as a computer that you can, like, de-emphasize or even delete. Like, maybe he's just saying, like, when it comes to the end of the year and I need to, like, clear some space on my hard drive, I'm keeping this one.
But he doesn't just back that up and put it downstairs. He just wipes his memory.
He also often uses figures of speech. This is just a sentimental figure of speech.
Yeah. He's just being nice.
Let's move on.
So Alfred teleports them to Edenoi.
After they morph, yeah.
After they move, he has the coordinates on a piece of paper.
Yeah. That's weird, because, again, he's a robot.
Like, maybe that's one of the things that he chose to forget, and he had to go look it up and
Yeah.
write it down. He's like, no, that won't be that important.
When he goes to delete stuff from his memory banks before he does it, he just transcribes
He puts it into a
everything.
notebook, yeah.
There's just, like, a whole bunch of filing cabinets downstairs in the command center.
So Lord Zed can't see the Rangers on Earth.
Except for Kimberly, who didn't go because she has...
She has some human ailment.
Yes.
So Rita's like, right, it's time to send a monster. Goldar gets the short end of the stick here. Which is fair, because Goldar is the worst.
He does deserve the short end of the stick in every situation.
Yeah.
They've changed Rita's actor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not her voice, but the person playing her.
Oh, so the voice is dubbed?
Yeah, so it used to be like a Japanese lady in footage from a Super Sentai show.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And then when they introduced Lord Zed and she had to act opposite Lord Zed,
Yeah.
she took like a youthfulness potion
Ah,
that meant
all
she
makes
was
sense.
replaced by like an American actress. But they didn't change her voice, so her voice is still dubbed.
So, was her boobs always so pointy?
Yes.
I just noticed it more because
They're
she
very
was a bit
pointy.
more thrusty in the chest in this episode.
Yep.
Cool. Go
So
Rita.
the Rangers land on Edenoi, and they said earlier, but it didn't click until they land, that Alpha would teleport them to like the source of the most distress.
Yes.
But they land and just immediately start getting bombarded with lasers.
Yeah.
Because they teleported to where the most distress is, which is the part being bombarded with lasers.
Yeah, as a rule, you're under the most distress when you're being shot with lasers.
At least the lasers are terrible and don't damage anything.
Well, I mean, they seem a little annoying.
Sure.
There's a lot of dust.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know, I hate
They
dust.
could cough a bit. The eyes would be, you can't see for a second. Yeah.
So Billy works out that the plan is there's poisonous gas under the crust.
Yep.
So the plan is they're gonna like just shoot the lasers until they destroy the planet, and that'll let all of the poisonous gases out. So I don't know why they're making other people mine.
Because they're evil.
I guess.
It's a pretty evil thing to do. Like, first of all, it's evil to make people mine the gas in their planet to release it and destroy their own planet.
Yep.
It's super evil to do it when it's also unnecessary.
But quite nice that they gave them gas masks so that they're alive while they're doing it.
I don't know. I think that's more like torture, It's like, no, we want you to be alive and experience what's happening.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're pretty evil.
Sure.
They're much more evil. It's not that they're more evil, but they're A, more competent, and B, like more humanly evil.
Yes.
Lord Zed sends monsters down, but that's bad.
Yeah.
But we can just blow up the monsters.
Yeah.
These guys are like enslaving people and forcing them to work in work camps.
Yes.
It's like that was a thing that people did, and we all agree that that was not a good thing.
Yeah. Count Dragon, no nice guy.
No, he's a space Nazi.
Yep.
Imagine if Hitler had worn a golden mask and you could only see his mouth.
I could see him doing that.
This would so have given me nightmares when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that ship, I know how you feel about cockroaches, so...
Yeah, no, not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Not cool at all, I'm with you there. So some Edenites appear just behind the Rangers.
Yep.
They basically look like Jawas. They've got like big brown cloaks.
Yeah, except they're human
Well,
size.
yeah, they're human size, but other than that, and you can't see their faces because they've all got gas masks.
Yep.
So there's one at the front who's clearly like our main character, and he calls upon the powers of light and truth
Yeah, the two best powers. I
to
think.
become Masked Rider.
Yeah. Yeah, Masked Rider.
He is cool.
He's pretty cool.
Is he?
He's a bit like his mask though is a bit like a fly.
It's very insectoid. Yeah. I think too, like, unfortunately in this episode, he's a bit of a douchebag. The most stubborn man you've ever met in your life.
The guy playing him
Yeah.
is a bad actor. He doesn't sell any of the lines.
I mean, it'd be very hard to sell those lines.
Yes, absolutely.
They
but
are
he
strange
does not.
lines.
Yeah.
He talks like slightly.
Well, he's meant to be an alien, remember?
Yeah.
Like, this is a very different culture to ours. And he's a prince. So,
Oh yeah, he's a prince.
He's a douche.
I think it's just that, like, once he's morphed,
yeah.
he's never yelling enough for me. Like, everyone else has kind of gotten used to, we have to feel like we're exerting energy.
Yeah.
And he's kind of just hitting the lines.
I think for me, like, he just seems very... Like a knight, he's very calm in the face of everything.
I buy calm, but it doesn't feel like he's exerting himself enough for the
Right.
things that we're seeing him do. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe that show gets cancelled after a season or two. I don't know. So they fight the Power Rangers. They basically are even with the Power Rangers, which either means that Edenites are very strong, or that's one of the powers that the Power Rangers don't have when they're over there.
Yeah.
Or a little bit of both, maybe.
A little from column A, a little from column B, yeah.
They try to talk sense, and
A lot.
he says, words have no meaning on a planet under the Cape of War.
That's like Jack Kirby dialogue right there.
Yeah, that's absolutely what this is. This show has suddenly become like Jack Kirby space stuff.
Yeah. Which I am all for.
Yeah, I'd be more for it if it was better, but...
Like, if there was a bit more power behind that line.
Yeah.
It's like, words have no power on a planet under the Cape of War. It's like, yeah, do it. Go completely over the top space serial. I love it.
Finster's monster is ready, which we know because he announces it to Rita and Lord Zed, who he calls Your Highness and Loudness.
Yeah. I love that.
I assume Lord Zed is Loudness.
No, Rita's loudness.
Do you think?
100%.
Because here's the thing. Rita's definitely loud and shrill.
Yes.
But I buy that, like, Rita left Finster alone, but Lord Zed, like, arrived and just yells all the time. And Finster, like, just puts his headphones in and tries to ignore it. Finster feels loyal to Rita more than to Lord Zed.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the thing is there's one person on that place that yells, Finster! A lot, and it's Rita. You know?
I think Rita would like it, if anything.
Yeah, like,
I think she would
I don't think she
enjoy
found
being-
it to be an insult.
Yep.
So, back on Edenoi, everybody kind of convinces their fighting counterpart to stop
Yep.
with a different sentence.
Yes.
Aisha mentions Alpha, and the person goes, wait, did you say Alpha? Billy says, your planet's surface is being disrupted. And the Edenite he's fighting says, how do you know that?
Which is weird because
There's a giant spaceship shooting lasers literally immediately at them.
And if they are part of Dragon's crew, which is what they suspect,
They know that as well.
that's part of the plan. Like, that's their whole deal.
And then there's a bit where Masked Rider and Jason and Tommy just run along.
Rocky and Tommy.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, run alongside each other.
Yeah, like having a conversation.
I think that was meant to be, you know, in anime, when people are, like, moving alongside each other, and like they're sort of preparing to fight, but they're waiting for the other one to give.
Sure.
But that doesn't
But they
really...
were like
It does just feel
full
like
on
they've all
sprinting
decided to run away.
Yes. But
in the same direction.
yeah, they couldn't agree on to go opposite directions.
Well, yeah, and they can't turn their backs on each other because they sort of like trust each other, so they face each other and just run to the side.
Yeah.
And then they do jump at each other.
Yeah.
All right, back in space, we talk with Double Face and the Rhymy one.
Yep.
So Double Face suggests that if these guys are fighting Masked Rider, why don't we just let one of them win, and then either they beat Masked Rider and then we blow up the planet and we win, or Masked Rider beats them and then we blow up the planet and we win.
Yeah, solid plan.
Double Face is clearly the sensible one of this team.
Yes.
No, Double Face. That wasn't Double Face.
I think it was Double Face.
No, he was the one who said it was a bad idea because it was the little gross one Is that the Rhymy one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I think
yeah.
he's right.
And he was all like, "Why don't we let one of them win?" And he's like, "No, terrible idea. Let's just attack them all."
Yeah, I think Sarah's right.
It might be. It's hard to. It is definitely possible.
Yeah.
But I'm having trouble tracking all those different monsters in that spaceship.
It's not important. They don't go with the plan.
Because they want Masked Rider's powers.
Yes.
They want the ability to transform into a bug superhero, I guess.
Don't we all?
Not really.
What?
I mean, it's not.
Would you not be Masked Rider if you could be Masked Rider?
Yeah, but I wouldn't try and kill Masked Rider to be Masked Rider if Masked Rider was a dude.
Yeah, because you're not evil.
That's right, I'm not.
I'm saying, like, everybody wants to be Masked Rider.
I don't.
Is that because you don't like bugs?
I don't want all the smashing. Like, I like a peaceful life.
But you could become Masked Rider and just help people lift boxes.
No, because then the monsters will come for you because you're Masked Rider.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, you can't be Masked Rider, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Does that mean I have to be Masked Rider?
I mean, that wouldn't be ideal. Because every time something crazy would happen, you'd be like, no, this doesn't make sense for science reasons. I'm out. And then walk away.
I'd still punch the monsters. I'd just be upset at them for not following the laws of physics.
In actual fact, it would give you more fuel. It's more force in your punches.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they just decide to start firing directly at them, which I guess will kill both of them. I don't quite understand how that's better than letting one of them win first, but...
Yeah. It's a weird one.
Look, they run into a cave.
Yeah, because at this point, Masked Rider's like, oh, they're firing at both of us, including you, which means that you're probably not on his side. And the Power Ranger's like, yeah, thank you. That's what we've been saying for the past, 10 minutes. Because that whole sequence goes on a long time.
It's a lot
Yeah,
of
it
the
drags.
episode.
Yeah. Especially because the Power Rangers make pretty compelling suggestions about why, they're not on the side of Count Dragon. And Masked Rider is just a stubborn shit about it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it cuts back and forth to that scene probably 5 times before he gets the point through his head.
It makes me think that he's mad or simple.
Or both.
Yeah, maybe he's just mad simple.
Maybe it's the gas.
Maybe
He
it
wasn't
is
wearing
the
a
gas.
mask.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's wearing a mask.
Oh, but not a gas mask, just his normal fly mask.
I feel like that is a containment suit as much as the Power Rangers ones.
I was going to ask about that. They didn't seem bothered
Yeah.
by their...
Yeah, I think
By the
they
gas.
seem to protect them from most things.
Okay.
So, Masked Rider, before they all run into the cave, stands outside and yells at Count Dragon, which he can't hear.
No.
He's in space. That's how that works.
I get that he's upset.
Yeah.
He's having a bad day. But, yeah.
Is it a worse day?
I mean, his whole planet is enslaved. So...
Yeah, but, that probably happened yesterday as well.
the impression I get from this is that it's a new situation.
Right.
Because, Alpha they send the distress call to Alpha.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think this is, an ongoing thing.
Alright, so, in space,
Yep.
they plan to send Cyclopter down to just mop up whoever is left.
Yep.
And that's where we end this episode.
Yeah.
Except, over the credits,
Yeah.
we get Jason David Frank telling us that it's more important to be smart than strong.
Yeah, basically.
What he basically actually says is it's more important to be smart so you can be strong.
Yes.
The strongest muscle in your body is your mind, Michael.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely true in my body.
And to control
no
your-
one's ever argued that.
To control your body, you first have to control your mind.
And then there's he's just performing in front of some kids.
Yeah, he just does a demonstration in front of kids.
I hope we have one of these every episode until the end of time.
I had forgotten this was a thing until I saw it again. I was like, oh, yes! I can't remember if it keeps happening, but I definitely remember seeing it before.
There was lots of shows, Power Rangers has definitely had episodes before that have had morals.
Yes.
Right? But lots of shows that I remember in the 90s had, over or before the credits, an explicit scene where they just told you what the moral was.
Yes.
Captain Planet had one.
Yes.
Sailor Moon had one.
Yes.
This clearly had one.
The thing is, though, this isn't exactly related to the plot. It would be really good if you're trying to teach children a moral to, take whatever lesson you could out of the plot and, reiterate it. But I don't feel like that was terribly...
I think in the 90s there was a lot of backlash from parents about violent shows that like, oh, they're just violent, they're no good for kids.
Power Rangers was banned in New Zealand until a couple of years ago.
Wow.
And the response to that from a lot of shows was, oh, we'll just teach kids some lessons.
Yeah, like we're still going to have them punch each other. But at the end, if Tommy says don't punch each other, then that makes up for it. Which it kind of does.
It's like the Action Man CGI series that was on when I was a kid. It was like all computer generated.
Wait, did he have like a special power where you could slow down time
Yes.
and like MacGyver stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It was pretty cool. But at the end of that show, there would be a live action scene with a live action man who would quickly
action man.
Yeah, he would quickly do some live action man stuff and then deliver a quick moral. So yeah, it was definitely a thing at the time that, you know, was clearly something they felt they were required to do to keep on television, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't hate it. You know, like...
Oh, I don't have anything against it.
It's not as good as actually writing, like, television shows where you teach kids the lesson.
I think, though, like, this is kind of almost better, because rather than just, like, restating the moral of the story, it's reminding kids in this instance that violence for the sake of violence is bad.
Sure.
And that martial arts is just another way to, like, hone your mind. Which, like, is kind of an important thing to teach kids who are just watching a lot of punching. It's like, no, like, this isn't about being mindless and punching, you know? Like, they're doing this for conscious reasons and you should be mindful.
It is, though, isn't it?
No, they're not just punching people for the sake of punching.
There's a little bit of that.
There's not. It's always for a reason. And they go out of their way to state on a few occasions that they shouldn't rush to violence and they don't escalate fights and stuff like that.
Still, it is just a show about giant robots fighting each other.
It's so cynical.
The show wouldn't exist without the punching.
No, I understand. But I'm saying that it's never... Like, they don't just... Like, they're stopping bad guys, right?
Sure.
And I think they're trying to make the point here that just because the Power Rangers have to punch the bad guys to stop the bad guys doesn't mean you should just punch people in general.
You
It's
could
like-
have used that moral, Matt.
I know.
Was your grandmother the bad guys?
Great-grandmother.
I think that, like, you know, that scene where they're being attacked by the locals.
Yeah.
And they try not... They don't fight them back. They just defend themselves.
Yeah.
Like, maybe focusing on that at the end. Saying, oh, just because someone's hitting at you doesn't mean you should hit them back or try and talk to them. That kind of thing. You know, that might have been a better way of...
It's a hard one to cross, though, because... You know,
of course, you don't want to tell people not to defend themselves.
Yeah.
But I just... Like, I think that what you're saying is completely right. I just
Yeah.
think the way that they did it just then doesn't make any sense. I think that if it had been about mindfulness and about, like, exercising your brain and figuring out a problem without punching someone, awesome. But I think in this episode, it wasn't about that.
Yeah, you're saying there's a disconnect between the content and the
Yeah,
episode.
I think that they're on, like, a good... Like, in a good path,
Yeah.
on a good path in a way, but I just think that if you're trying to teach a kid something, like, some continuity would be, like, probably more helpful.
Sure.
But good on them for trying, I guess. Patching up a problem.
Yeah.
What a weird start to the season.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, out of the universe, this is clearly Saban wants kids to watch their new Masked Rider TV show.
Yeah, so I should say, I don't know if Sarah knows this, but Masked Rider goes on to have his own TV show.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
Yeah, so this is like a 3-part sort of backdoor pilot, basically, for Masked Rider.
Okay, to establish him,
Yeah.
get the kids excited.
Yeah, which worked, because... Although, like, Masked Rider only got 1 season, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I definitely have never seen Masked Rider.
I have. And
So it must have aired on Australian television at some point.
the thing is, what you see of Masked Rider in this episode, and I think the subsequent episodes, does not prepare you for what the Masked Rider show actually is.
No, I mean, I'm looking at its Wikipedia page in
Yeah.
front of me, and it sounds a lot less like he's defending his planet from evil overlords.
Don't tell Sarah what it is, because I think after we finish this 3-parter, we should show her just a little bit of the show on YouTube or something.
Yeah, it
Just
might
like-
even be on Netflix. We'll have to check that. But yeah, that sounds like a good thing we can do in the 3rd part.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we'll be back next week with part 2.
Yeah, we'll see if they can help the friend in need.
Yeah, I mean, there's a 3rd part, so they probably won't wrap it up.
Probably not.
But
Yeah, there's a lot to get to, though. Like, There's a planet enslaved. They're under immediate attack. Plus, the Earth is in danger, and Kimberly with the flu is the only one that can protect the Earth. What's going to happen? Guess we'll find out.
And remember, kids, don't punch people.
Unless you have to.
That was really nice.
Cool. We'll see you next week.
But then if you have to, just punch the shit out of them.
Michael.
Bye, guys.
It's an important moral.